like that. That's cute. I'm gonna be so mad though if this is like not gonna look right and then I edit it all and it's just not gonna look right. Let me use you again. I can't lose. I'm too good to lose. How can I snooze if I can't lose? Ooh. Hey. Y'all like my new hydro flask I got? Y'all like my new hydro flask I got for Christmas? Isn't she cute? Ah! I wanted one for the longest time, but I didn't want it while it was hyped up because then it would have been hard to find. I also want to show you guys my freaking pants that I got from R&D. I'm sitting, so I'm gonna stand so you can see my pants. Okay, but like look at how cute these are, and then like they like show, and then like they also like they flare at the bottom. Yeah, that's my pants. They're cute. I have a cute outfit on, you just can't see it, but it's cute. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. I think it's because I'm excited for today's topic. I've been waiting to like talk about this before I graduated. Hold on, let me pull up the list. If you're watching this, you're probably just a theater major or somebody who's done theater for like their entire life like me. Or you could be watching this as a person of color to know the struggle of being in a musical production is as a person of color. That's probably a reason why you're watching this. I don't know any other reason besides just like stalking me through my videos. And if you are, hi, welcome. You should hit that subscribe button if you're just stalking me just to stalk me, because I find that very offensive. Hey besties, it's your girl Nashaya here. I don't know why I'm sounding like this. I never sound like this in my videos. I think I'm just so excited. Anyway, this idea I've had for months. I think I actually had it back in like September after I did Godspell. Or that was September 2021. I can't remember. But before I dive into this or say anything, I want to just state a fact that this is not geared towards all my past directors or towards the people I've done productions with. That's a lie. Okay, how about this? What I'm going to say, I'm gonna give examples, but I'm gonna fabricate those examples. So what happened realistically was not, let's just say per se, was not as bad as how it happened realistically. And this is no shade towards anyone at all, period. This is no shade towards anyone, because I don't need somebody coming up in my comments, one of my ex like friends or whatever, saying like, oh my gosh, you tried to expose me, I'm suing you. Like, no babe, this is not about you. This has never been about you. This is about me and my experiences doing theater as a black kid. Yeah, my experiences doing theater as a black kid. And so yeah, that's what today's video is about. The hard truths about being a theater kid, especially when you're black. Let me just give you guys a little preview about like my life as a theater kid, or like all the plays and stuff that I've done. I actually have like a list of them, but I've done many plays and musicals in my life, and I'm actually in one right now. I'm in a production right now, so I'll add that too. But from elementary school, my first play was 3 Daughters of the King, and then after that was middle school, where I did Beauty and the Beast and Peter Pan Jr. When I started high school, I did not do the fall play. We used to have a fall and a spring play. They stopped that during COVID or after COVID, just because our director couldn't do 2 of them, just because she had a child and stuff, so of course it's completely understandable. But we used to have 2. I didn't do the fall play my 8th grade year, just due to the fact that like I was new. I was trying to get used to my classes and how the school worked. So I did the musical, which was Wedding Singer, which was a bop. Don't have too many good experiences, but we'll talk about that. But Wedding Singer when I was in 8th grade, and then the spring play that we did was The Great Gatsby, which is probably one of my favorite plays I ever did in my life. Then after that year, the fall play I did was 12 Angry Jurors, and then the musical we did was Sister Act. I could not do the spring play of that year because I went to see BTS at MetLife Stadium, as I should, and J-Hope and me made eye contact, and I just love to reminisce about that. Homie. Anyway. And this would be like 2019, 2020. My fall play was Almost Made, but then the musical was Lucky Stiff, and then all of that got canceled because of COVID. Respectfully, COVID can go die in a ditch. I didn't do any plays or musicals that year. We couldn't do Lucky Stiff, period. So I didn't do anything after our canceled production of Lucky Stiff. Then in 2020, 2021, it wasn't a play per se, but we did like this fall monologue showcase that might still be on our website if you check it out. It might not be, but I'll check it out just to see. but we did a fall monologues showcase where we just took videos of us doing monologues, and then she put it together, compiled it in a video, and so it was just us doing monologues. And so that was kind of fun because, like, who doesn't love a good monologue? Next one I did 2021. So this is my senior year now. Oh wait, I lied. I did Godspell summer of 2021. I did Godspell, and that was great too. The fall play for 2021 was the Iliad, the Odyssey, and all of Greek mythology in 99 minutes or less, and that was great. I played multiple roles because, like, it was divided. The characters were divided into parts. So, like, Lady 1 was like the strong female Greek goddess characters, and then female 2 was like the sweet whatever types of characters. So it was like that. My musical, my senior year musical was Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia. Oh, the tea I got. Okay, no, it's not tea. There's just so much I wanted to say about this, and I'm glad I can finally say it. But no, it was a great production in general. I've had so many people come back to me telling me about how much they loved our production, how great it was, and honestly, that makes me happy to know that people actually liked it and, like, they cared for it and stuff, because there was so much wrong with it. Then this summer I did Beauty and the Beast again, but it wasn't the junior version like I did in middle school. It was just Beauty and the Beast, like the Broadway musical version. That was my repertoire of theater. Alright, let's talk about the drama that occurs during production. I really should start with the racism, shouldn't I? We'll start with the drama that we'll put the racism in as we go along. So, like, a lot of things go into doing a musical production or a play production, any kind of production. A lot goes into that, and so with that comes the favoritism. There's a lot of things that go into a production, and so a lot of things can happen. Like, I remember this one thing that happened when we did Great Gatsby. The guy who played, I don't remember what his name was. Was it Gatsby? I don't even know. But the guy who played one of the big leads, he was so upset. I forgot why he was upset, but he literally knocked a rack of, I think it was like a rack of chairs. I can't even remember, but it was a rack of something. He pushed it over and left, and my director yelled at him too. It was just, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the drama. But that happened. That was funny. But what comes with, like, the drama during a production is, like, everyone's emotions and energies just get mixed up, high-low, and that can't really mix, or that can clash a lot with people of different personalities. And so a lot of drama would occur during production, obviously. I don't think sabotage has ever happened as far as I've been in musicals, or from the productions I've been aware of. There has been times where I felt like something was targeted towards me by a specific person, or some kind of angle was, but, like, I never got hurt or anything, if that makes sense. So, like, I guess their plan was unsuccessful. This probably is not making sense. I don't know how to explain it without describing the person and what would have occurred, so I'm not gonna say anything, but I'll just say that, like, tensions were high. There's always jealousy. There's always jealousy or hate or targeting another person in a production if you have people that are extremely talented. And so, of course, at my school, we had a lot of extremely talented people. And due to that, the people who were jealous of those people would always talk crap about them, make group chats about them, always talk SHIT about them. And it's just messy. I don't consider myself, like, the most talented person ever or whatever. I believe my skills are, like, mediocre at best. I don't want to say mediocre just because, like, sometimes when I'm in the zone, like at church, if I'm singing, I know that, like, I'm singing very well because that's the Holy Spirit, okay? Because the Holy Spirit don't sound like crap, okay? But, like, I know that I'm at a place where I can get roles, if that makes sense. I can do well enough that I can get roles, and I've done it for a while that, like, I'm almost a veteran at this point. And so with that comes the competition. And so I'm not saying that I'm extremely talented, but there has been cases of people being jealous of me. I used to feel like that it was because they were racist, but it might have just been a jealousy thing. It might not have been a race thing like I thought. But sometimes in the back of my mind, I'll still be like, are they doing this because I'm black and I have this role? And I don't know. That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts on it. But like, there has been times where people have been like jealous of me and like always just prayed on my downfall and stuff. And so it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't deserve that. Nobody deserves it, period. But I feel like with my skill level, I really don't deserve that hate, period. Because anyone could get the roles that I've gotten. Anyone can do just as good as me. So I don't know, it always just felt like weird. Because of that, people just get easily jealous. And it sucks, honestly. It sucks because like, there was a girl who was a lead for our musical, and I mean, I went for that lead too, but I didn't think I was gonna get it just because she's so like extreme. One, she looks like the character, and two, she's just extremely talented. Like, her belting skills were like off the charts, period. Girl boss. I love her to death. But like, I don't know, like I always knew she was gonna get it, period. I think there was part of me that did think maybe I had a chance, but I think I knew in the back of my mind that I wasn't gonna get that role, and I was fine with it. But this one person was not fine with her having that lead. She wanted that lead, and when she didn't get it, she got a lead, don't get me wrong. She got a lead. She got a really good lead, honestly. One of her songs is like one of my favorites, period, in the musical. And so when she got that lead, she was hot. When I tell you she was hot, I think we all were at the time. Not hot at her. I think we were all hot about what we had, what we got chosen to us, what parts we got chosen to us. We all were hot about it. But she specifically was like off the charts upset, period. And like, I understand because it's like one of your final years of high school. You want to go out with a bang. And I felt the same way with another role. I auditioned for 2 roles, and I felt like the girl that got the role that I wanted, I didn't feel like she deserved it. I love her. I always will love her, and she'll always be one of my dearest friends, but I personally felt like she didn't deserve that role for multiple reasons that I'm just not going to explain. And that moment did make me feel like it was a race thing. I felt like the casting was selected as a typecast option, and just because of the way the characters looked. And I was not happy about that at the time. I mean, now that I'm older, I'm like mature, and I'm like, okay, I mean, like, casting happens for a reason. There's stuff that goes into casting, especially as me being a director from when I directed something in the past. Like, I do understand the process that goes into it now, and like the mindset behind it. But at the time, I was not fine with it, and I felt ashamed because I felt like I deserved a little more than I was given. But at the end of the day, I had a lead, so like, I'm not upset about it anymore, and I wasn't too upset about it back then, about the role that I got, because it was still a lead nonetheless. Like, I could have just not had a lead, period. But at the time, I felt like it was like a typecasting, and I know what typecasting is because I've gone through it my entire life. I feel like every single role I've gotten has been a character that could be played as a black person, someone with confidence, independence. And not that these are bad qualities, but people associate black women with like confidence, loud, self-centered, and just sexy and stuff, and I've always had those kind of roles. And so it's always, my entire life, I feel like I've always been typecasted. And I honestly, I don't care about being typecasted if I get paid. I don't care about being typecasted as long as I get paid, and I was not getting paid for any of this, so I had a problem with it at the time. Now I'm just like, I don't really like care. I mean, I'm just happy to be in a production, period. Like, theater has always been my life, so it's like, I'm not going to complain too much about it because I've always loved it. But at the time, it just felt like, you know, like I wasn't being utilized enough, and due to that comes self-esteem issues with theater. Being a theater kid can make you feel insecure or unconfident in your talent, and especially when you compare yourself to others. Like, my underclassmen will always be my heart. Like, the ones that I love right now, like I'll always like love them, but I always felt like I didn't do enough because they went through a lot. Like, they went through so much vocal lessons and stuff, schools for like acting and like singing and all that. And so at the time, of course, I felt like I didn't do enough. I feel like I was also self-sabotaging myself with that mindset too. Like, I had vocal lessons before in the past, and they weren't, it wasn't legit. A girl duped me, and so from then on I just taught myself how to sing. Like, I looked up videos on YouTube. I'd have my mother there because she used to be in a black choir. Y'all already know how black people do it and how black choirs sing and stuff. So like, she had that experience. I've been in chorus my entire life, so it's like I always had that experience, but I never had a one-on-one teacher who knew what they were doing. Besides when I did like all county and stuff, and I had those private vocal lessons with my chorus teacher, but other than that, I never really had like lessons to constantly go to all the time for years and years and years. With that, I felt like I was like not good enough. I didn't feel like I could be good enough. With that, my self-confidence was just like down the drain. But that's no reason. Let me just point that out there. Just because someone has more experience than you does not mean they're better than you. I am going to be completely honest with you. I feel like talent is subjective. Everyone's gonna think something different. Everyone's gonna think different of other people. Due to that, I recommend getting lessons, obviously, so you know what you're doing, you know your vocal quality, your vocal ability. But I also feel like if you're someone like me who's, I don't know, sung in the church your whole life, or just love to sing, or have done chorus your entire life, like, you're fine. You're more than fine. Just always like look up videos and stuff, see what you can do differently, try different approaches. But like, there's nothing wrong with someone who's done vocal lessons since they were a toddler compared to you practicing every day and singing your heart out. Like, y'all, I went to sing at this thing in Florida. This guy, he told me that like I was really good, always keep singing, like he sees like potential in me and stuff. And so like, even that really like made me feel like, wow, I'm better than I keep thinking. Like, and I need to exude that confidence. I'm not perfect. Like I said, I've had lessons a few times in my life, but I still feel like someday I'll be able to reach my full potential, and I need to be confident in what I have now. That's all I was just trying to say about that matter. Like, one of the hardest things about being a theater kid is trying not to compare yourself to others. Luckily, I feel like I'm getting away from that. Mindset, and I'm trying to become more me and love myself and love my voice and my talent for what it is, accepting it for what it is, and just trying to continue to get better with it. Then you got the show-offs. I'll get to the relationships and favoritism later, but then you got the show-offs, and those are the people that know they're the SHIT and think they're better than everybody else. There's a difference between knowing that you're awesome, and there's a difference between knowing that you're awesome and better than everybody else. And so, did I pop my pimple? Okay, I didn't. Okay. There's a difference. And so you had the people that knew they were hot garbage and knew that they were better than everybody else. And then you had like, and it was so obvious. You can see it in their face, in the way that they like walk on air and stuff. And when I tell you, it used to drive me over the edge. I wanted to cuss them out so badly and be like, you know you're not that great, right? You know the reason they picked you was because of blankety blankety blank. And so anyway, okay, clearly I'm not over this, but anyway, I don't know, it's just, I can't hate people. I'm a child of Jesus, but I strongly dislike people who think they're so much better than everybody else and try to put themselves above everybody else. It pisses me to the core, because we are the same person. We are the same person. Just because you have a little bit more, like a 5% chance of more lines than I do, does not mean crap. You are not better than the chorus. You are not better than the pit, baby girl or baby boy. Both of y'all, baby girl and baby boy. How about that? So I don't know, I just hate people that are like that. There's a difference between having confidence in your abilities and uplifting people and then just thinking you're better than everybody else. There's a difference. And this, a guy, I can't even, no, because then y'all are gonna know who I'm talking about, so I can't even talk about the specific person. But let's just say this specific person always thought they were the hot crap. And I wanted to pull them aside and be like, yo, I love you. I really love you. And you know I do. But you ain't crap. I could find somebody like you in a minute. No. Anyway. But yeah, just don't become a show off. Even if you get all the leads your entire life like they did, don't think you're a show off, because it's gonna be your downfall. At the end of the day, it's going to be your downfall. Period. Point blank period. I personally think that people who have leads are not above chorus people or like ensemble people. Yes, mother. What was I about to say? What was I saying? Like I said, I feel like ensemble people make up the musical. Like without them, there wouldn't be comedy. There wouldn't be like the emphasis on how dramatic a scene is. Like if you don't have ensemble people, then like there is no musical, period, in my opinion. And I feel like people always put like people with leads and stuff to the top, and they give them so much luxury treatment. And it's like, I understand, because like they're carrying the show, but they wouldn't be carrying the show without the backs of the ensemble. And so that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, so I don't like leads show offish and feel like people are beneath them, because you are nothing. You are nothing without the ensemble, period. The tension during Tech Week. The tension during Tech Week. Oh my gosh, I can make a whole essay about this, but I'm going to keep it short, plain and simple. I'm going to cry with this editing. But, beauty, but. Tech Week in a production is HE double hockey sticks. I promise you, it is like everything was all fun, dandy, all like happy-go-lucky, cheerful, all that. But then when it comes Tech Week, you better be like in business mode, tuxedo and all. When I tell you there is no fooling around. Okay, there is like a few, there's sometimes just fooling around and stuff. But this one time, the one person I was talking to you about, the one that's a show off, and then the girl that had that lead that the other people were jealous about, they were playing around, right? It was like, I think it was like one of the last few days before opening night. And so everybody was like doing their hardest, working really hard and stuff. And they kept talking while our choreographer were talking. And my choreographer cussed them out. I was trying so hard not to laugh. I was like, ooh, because I knew if that was me, I would be crying. I would legit be sobbing in front of everybody because I'm a crybaby. And so when that happened, I literally felt so bad. I was like, oh my goodness. It was terrible. And every time I think back about it, I'm like, I wonder if they're always gonna remember this. Like, this might actually traumatize them. That's one of the instances that happened. Another instance was just like when I was in 8th grade. We practiced for Wedding Singer until, my friends would remember the exact time. I just know it was like really late for an 8th grader like me. It was like 11 or 12, and I think I went to bed at like 9:30, 10 back then, because I was in 8th grade, obviously. But like, our director was like, you're staying until whatever, get it done or whatever. And we just kept doing, I think we kept repeating the choreography or something like that, and we couldn't get it right. And our parents were like waiting outside of the school, upset. And I think my dad was waiting for me, but like they were like so mad, and like the parents like literally were talking to each other about it, and they were like, oh, we're gonna yell at him or something like that. I don't know, I can't remember it in full detail, but I just remember that happening, and I was just like, I just want to go home. I was like, can I just go home? But yeah, so that's what happened there. Like, Tech Week is never play around week, period. Like, you will be crying. You will either, okay, there's a few stages you'll be in during Tech Week. You will be trying to shove all your lines inside of your head until you get it, no problem. You will be crying, probably tearing at your hair with your makeup just streaming down your face. Or you will be in the back trying to practice those dances until your feet come off. There is no other option. It's a lot, but you know what? It's all worth it in the end. Oh, another thing I didn't even put on my list, but something that always has happened. There's always been one night in particular where something goes wrong in a production, at least in the productions I've been in. Like, either a mic won't come on, or the mics die, or someone's phone comes off backstage with a Vito minion sound, or somebody will run late on their cue, or like a prop will fall apart. Something has always happened in my productions, and I'm just gonna assume that happens in everyone else's productions for one of their nights, because I can't be the only one. I don't see how I could be, because something has always happened. Even when I did the other community theater thing that I'm in. I'm doing a play above state, but I did go to see their musical Pippin, and something went wrong there too. So I'm thinking it's just a common thing that happens in theater. I just don't remember a time in high school when my director didn't yell at us during tech week. I just don't. Another thing among theater kids and like the cliques of theater kids and stuff is just like how much of a theater kid really are you? And so it's like they will always talk about like musicals that they love and stuff, or musicals that you should know, and then if you don't know it, they'll bash you about it. And so I'm just over here like, I'm just trying to be in a production doing what I love. Like, why do I need to know every single musical and know the music to all of these musicals to be seen as popular? I always dislike that among theater kids, and how cliquey they can be, and then they'll like ignore you and stuff if you don't know it, and it's just so childish. You're acting like you're 5. Like, stop. Yeah, that's something I never liked personally. I don't know every single musical. I don't know every single song in my favorite musicals. So people, I'm sure hundreds of people have considered me a fake theater kid. I'm sure everyone at high school thought that I was a fake theater kid, which isn't true, because I did win for senior superlatives. I was seen as most likely to be seen on Broadway, which felt impossible to me, because I feel like people always thought I was a fake theater kid just because I didn't know every musical and stuff, and I'd be shamed for it, and I'm just like, I just want to act and sing. Like, there's no answers or buts about it. Like, and so I always felt like I had to know every musical. I don't. The one musical I probably know every single line to is Hamilton. That's it. That's because I shoved all that in my brain in middle school because I loved it so much. But yeah, my favorite musical is Hairspray, and I don't know like every single title of the songs are in Hairspray. I just know the ones that are my favorites. I love Heathers, and I don't know every single song in it, but I know my favorites. And so in my opinion, I feel like that's all that matters. I talked about the rumors and the hate and the jealousy and just how ugly it looks and how obvious it looks. But I'm not gonna say that it doesn't happen to everyone. Like, I know I've had my fair share of jealousy stuff, but I never let it control me or my acting. I've always tried to stay 100% professional, and I've always tried to be sincere and kind, especially to the people who had the roles that I wanted. Cause like, what's the use of hating someone? Like, if anything, you should be happy and proud of them. I don't know. I don't understand it. I understand being jealous for a little bit, but then getting over it. But if you're gonna be jealous the entire time, like, I don't know. We'll talk about the relationships, favoritism, and the typecasting and racism I've been in. I've already talked about the typecasting and the racism, so I don't really have to go deeper into that. I just want to know, for any of the other black girl theater kids out there, if this happens often to you too, where like you're put in this box and you always get the roles that are in that box that they associate you with. I feel like that's always happened to me. And I'm not blaming my directors or anything. Like I said, I know how a casting thing goes and how it works. I've directed a play before, so I know. But it always felt like I was just there to fill in a stereotype. But that's why I am happy that I'm doing this play at Buffalo State, because the person that I am, like the role that I have, like I don't have to be the way I've always been. Like, I can make her my own, technically, if you think about it. The lines are subjective, so I can really make her my own. And so that's what I'm excited about the most. The relationships and favoritism. The person that I felt like didn't deserve the role that they had, I felt like it was connection based. I feel like a lot of times casting is connection based. It's a negative thing, obviously, but like, I feel like a lot of times it's always, not every single time, but a good amount of times I always feel like it's connection based. To the people who have the resources, know the parents of, or the cousins of, or the aunts and uncles of that person that they're casting. And it's obviously it's wrong, but it's factual. Like, it happens. I mean, I know of instances of people who got leads all the time because of their parents, per se, their parents. And I don't know, one, it always rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, that person can be talented, of course, obviously, but like, if you're getting it all the time without leaving room for someone else to have a lead, that's when you know it's messed up. That's when you know it's messed up. It's one thing to have to be extremely talented and have a lead that one time and the directors know the parents, but if you have it every single time nonstop, that's when it becomes an issue. That's when it becomes a problem. It should be one and done, in my opinion, for anyone who gets a lead in a school. In the real world, I don't know how it works, but in school, if it's the same people all the time, then that's when you know it's messed up and corrupt. That's just my personal opinion as a former casting director. So relationships and the favoritism is so the favoritism is so obvious. Like, directors do a terrible job at not showing favoritism to specific people because it's so obvious. You give them the special treatment and stuff, and people gonna talk crap. You show it, then people are gonna talk a lot more crap, and it just ruins your credibility as a director. The favoritism, oh my goodness, like it was just it feels, sometimes it feels a little predatorial. I'm not gonna front. High school or middle school or elementary, whatever, school wise, sometimes it feels predatorial. I'm not gonna front, and I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that, but sometimes it can feel predatorial, and I'm just talking about directors in general. I take it as you will. I might be talking about some directors I know, I might not be, but sometimes it feels like it's predatorial and that they're preying on them, and I know they're not, they're just doing their job. But when you're showing so much favoritism to that person or that actor or actress or whatever, it's just it don't be feeling right in my spirit. It really don't be. But you know what, I'm gonna let you do you, clearly. Anyway, again, I don't want any of, I don't think my my past directors would be watching these. Like, obviously, I feel like they would not be watching my YouTube videos, but I do not want you guys to think I'm talking mainly about you. I'm just talking about theater in general from my experience and my friends' experiences who have done theater, who I've heard, who I've talked to. Like, my one friend is far away from here now, but like, we would always exchange and discuss things that happened in theater because we were both theater kids and we both did a lot of theater and stuff. And so this doesn't just happen to me. I know this happens to other people, and other people feel the way that I feel. And so I'm just giving examples. Take them as you may. If you think they're about you, do some self-reflection, I don't know. But to my past directors, like, don't take this like I'm talking specifically just about you. There's like a bunch of other things. There's a lot of factors that went into what I'm talking about today, what I'm talking about right now. So at the end of the day, I am very grateful for the experiences my directors have given me. I'm very grateful for the roles that I've gotten, because I remember a time in my life where it was just hard for me to even be seen, period. And so I am grateful for the opportunities that I had. And if it wasn't for my directors, then I probably wouldn't know that I have such a love for theater and the arts in general. I just wanted to put that out there. Also, the relationships the leads will be getting in, like, I can't even front because I was in a relationship with a lead while I was a lead. But it's just the fact that this always happens in musical productions and it never goes right. Like, I don't know. I just look back at it and I just laugh at my stupidity because, like, I don't even know. It's just, I hated how I let this man control my life. He didn't control, okay, let me be clear, because he might be watching this. He didn't control me or anything. It wasn't like some kind of abusive relationship. I don't even know how to explain this. Like, I was just stupid. I was just really stupid. And I guess I loved him so much that like I guess I just thought that like he would get over me quickly and go to some other lead or something like that, or he'd have a crush on another lead, and so my jealousy would take over. And I wasn't jealous of the person for the lead that they got. That was just one time with the girl who didn't deserve the role. I was just jealous that he was giving that person or that scene partner more attention than me, when in reality he had to, because that was his job. looking back at all my actions and I'm just like, girl, what is wrong with you? First of all, you're one of the only black girls in this cast. There is no way he does not think you're the most prettiest. I mean, he chose you for a reason. I don't know. I just look back at like my jealousy and stuff and I'm just like, why? Why were you jealous? You're too good for him. I was too good for him anyway. That's all that I wanted to say. Again, maybe I'll do a part 2 to this. I feel like there's so much stuff that I'm forgetting right now, but I don't know what. I feel like there's a lot I'm forgetting. I don't know why, but if I do come up with more and you guys come up with like things that you would like to talk about as theater kids as well, and put it in the comments, and then maybe I'll do that in the next video and talk about it. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about really. Yeah, it's been hard. It's been a lot. It's been a lot being a black theater kid in a predominantly white schools, and like just the casting and the stuff that goes on. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm grateful for the experiences and I'm grateful for the roles that I've had, and I believe they were the catalyst for who I am today. I mean, I'm a freshman in college and I have like literally an important role in our production, and I didn't even think I'd get that. So I give glory to God for all of my achievements and for all of like the leads and the parts that I've had in my life. I'm looking forward to this production. Like, college theater is so much different from like high school and like middle school theater, and it's just like, it's great. It's great. It's great to just be around talented people, but not only talented people, but talented directors and assistant directors, and like having the space, multiple spaces to do things. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, that's a whole nother video for another time, for another day. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Thank you, besties. If you would like to become an honorary bestie, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, and comment again on things you've experienced in theater. Maybe I'll bring them up in another video. I do have a hard truths about a chorus kid video coming up eventually, when I find the time to record it. Thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all so much. Make sure you follow all my social media handles and check out the new website that I just did. It looks refreshing and great and different. Love you all so very much. Shaya out. Peace. Bye guys.